Hey, it's Shani from Florida Food Forest. Last night, our Central Florida property got down to between 30 and 33 degrees. This was devastating for certain plants on my property. So let's go do a lightning tour around the property and see who made it and who did not. Starting off strong, Kerry Mango did totally fine, even covered in blooms. Thank God. This is one of the most prized and treasured fruits on our property, and we would have been devastated if we lost our mango tree. She's fine. Let's check in on the first of 2 guavas on this property. This guava is located right next to my house, and it is completely unscathed. That's because my house makes a warm microclimate. Here's another example of the microclimate working in your favor. This papaya tree is totally untouched by frost, covered in fruit, no problem. That's because it's located under this eastern redbud and in a warm, woodsy microclimate protected. The plant is totally fine. Sadly, the warm microclimate effect of my house really couldn't help this banana tree. This is a dwarf Orinoco, we believe, and I'm not sure if this rack is going to continue to ripen. The tree has 3/4 or more of damage to the leaves. That's pretty devastating for a banana tree like this. So we're not totally sure if we've lost this banana rack yet, but it's not looking good. Here's one of the potted avocados from our nursery. This one we plan to plant out in our yard over the summer. This is a variety called Fantastic, which is not only fantastic tasting, but fantastically cold tolerant. And the evidence is clear. This plant completely unscathed by the 33 degree weather, and it's even still holding some beautiful blooms here. So thank you, Fantastic Avocado. You did great. Moment of truth, let's head into the raised bed garden. Now, I know that I'm in trouble here because I had some tomato plants that I honestly totally forgot to cover. I was a little bit frantic and panicked yesterday. I didn't get a chance to cover them. This is especially painful because I actually had some infrastructure put in so that it would be easy to put frost cloth, but I was busy, I was frantic, I didn't get to it. So most of the crops in my raised bed garden right now are totally cold tolerant, and they did fine. Even though they were covered in a layer of frost this morning, they're completely happy. Things like broccoli, cabbage, carrots, totally fine. Now, that does not go for my basil, my tomatoes, and sadly, my nasturtiums. They all got completely rocked by the cold. There is no coming back from this level of cold damage. I am going to have to replant my tomatoes if I want to get any more tomatoes before summer. This is heartbreak. This is the second guava on the property. This one is in a much more exposed cold sink, and unsurprisingly, it has gotten a little knocked back from this past frost. Now, I know from experience, this guava is going to bounce back because this happened last year. So it's not like it's going to kill the plant, but it did much worse out here in the cold sink than it did in my warm microclimate by the house. A little lesson about microclimates there. Here is a papaya in the coldest part of our property. It got absolutely whacked. So this one is not experiencing the nice cozy microclimate effect. It is in a cold exposed area, and therefore it got hit hard. I have no idea if this is going to resprout and make new leaves. I think it will because this did happen just like this last year and the plant came back from the base, but I might have to cook up these green papayas. Luckily, I have a recipe for green papaya chutney, so I will put them to good use. Now, this banana did a little bit better than the ones next to my house, but I'm not sure why, and I don't actually know how these are going to do long term. What I do know is this banana rack is much farther along and more mature than the others, so I will be able to eat these bananas. If I can't coax them into ripening to full yellow, at least I can make a green banana escabeche or some kind of green banana recipe, so I can at least still salvage the edible rack. Now I'm going to show you the most expensive gardening mistake of my entire gardening career. Let's check out the tomato patch. I have had 100% loss of my tomato. I thought maybe I'd get lucky. I did actually come out here and cover my plants with frost cloth, but I didn't secure it tightly enough. The frost cloth caught the wind, blew right off, and this is the price that I'm paying. This is total loss. My tomatoes are not coming back from this. I had actually went out and bent a bunch of hoops and secured my frost cloth over my pepper field, but it was too cold to even be protected with a layer of frost cloth. It got truly freezing out here last night and everything is dead. I don't know where to go from here, but this is the biggest heartbreak in gardening that I can recall. I had companion planted basil with each one of my tomato plants. The basil didn't stand a chance against this cold. It is completely decimated. Lots of them are past the breaker stage and will ripen in the windowsill. Some of them I'm gonna have to make into something like a green tomato pickle, fried green tomatoes. That's the best I've got. All right, this concludes my New Year's Day Frost Heartbreak Garden Tour. See you next time.